The Land Mattress, a World War II-era rocket launcher, emerged from a remarkable mixture of improvisation, desperation, and ingenuity. Originally, the British War Office had dismissed the concept, believing that the Army did not need another experimental artillery weapon. Yet, engineers and ordnance specialists persisted, driven by the potential of concentrated rocket fire to saturate enemy positions with devastating force. Constructed in an unlikely location, a converted bottling factory, the Land Mattress combines surplus components from across the British military. RAF rocket motors provided propulsion, Royal Navy warheads offered explosive power, and Army surplus fuses ensured the system could function reliably under combat conditions. The assembly itself was a marvel of coordination, requiring precise timing to integrate components that were never designed to work together. From its very inception, the Land Mattress represented a convergence of necessity and innovation, a weapon that should never have existed yet would go on to influence British artillery tactics profoundly. Engineers had to overcome numerous technical challenges, including stabilizing rockets that were prone to veering off course, ensuring simultaneous ignition across multiple launchers, and designing a frame capable of withstanding repeated barrages without structural failure. Every aspect of the weapon, from the orientation of its 12-launcher battery to the sequencing of the fuses, was meticulously planned to maximize the destructive potential of each salvo. The design leveraged simplicity where possible, allowing relatively unskilled personnel to operate the system with minimal training. This operational accessibility proved vital during the rapid advances of late 1944, when units needed to deploy heavy firepower without extensive logistical support or specialized crews. Early tests demonstrated that a single battery could unleash 384 rockets in under 8 seconds, a rate of fire that no conventional artillery could match. The sheer volume of explosives, approximately 162 kilograms per battery salvo, could obliterate entrenched German positions, disrupt defensive lines, and demoralize enemy troops. British commanders quickly recognized that the Land Mattress's real strength lay in its ability to deliver massive, concentrated fire over short durations, saturating areas with an intensity previously unimaginable. Unlike standard artillery, which relied on careful targeting over extended periods, the Land Mattress could deliver near-instantaneous devastation across broad areas, making it especially effective in assaults on fortified positions. The timing of its first operational deployment, coinciding with major Allied campaigns in the Low Countries, underscored its strategic importance. The weapon would prove itself repeatedly in both offensive and defensive contexts, particularly during river crossings and urban assaults where rapid suppression of enemy fire was critical. The first combat use of the Land Mattress occurred during the Walcheren Island operation on November 1, 1944. Walcheren, a heavily defended Dutch island guarding the Scheldt estuary, had become a critical obstacle to Allied supply lines. German forces had fortified the island with an extensive network of bunkers, artillery positions, and anti-aircraft emplacements. Conventional artillery bombardments had made limited progress due to the island's elevated defenses and dense fortifications. British commanders turned to the Land Mattress as an experimental solution capable of overwhelming German positions through sheer volume of fire. On the first day of the operation, Land Mattress batteries unleashed their rockets in rapid succession, delivering an intense barrage that flattened defensive emplacements, cut through barbed wire, and forced German garrisons into disorganized retreats. Reports from the battlefield described the effect as both terrifying and unprecedented. Thousands of explosive impacts struck the island in mere seconds, transforming entrenched positions into smoldering ruins. The psychological impact on German troops was equally significant. Witnessing 384 rockets raining down in under 8 seconds shattered the sense of defensive security, creating confusion and panic among defenders. The operational success at Walcheren Island confirmed the weapon's potential as a battlefield equalizer, particularly in scenarios where speed and saturation were more important than pinpoint accuracy. Following this initial success, the Land Mattress was rapidly adopted in subsequent operations across Northern Europe. British units integrated the system into both the Royal Artillery and specialized assault formations, using it to support infantry advances, suppress enemy artillery, and provide protective fire during river crossings. Its mobility, while limited compared to lighter field guns, was sufficient to reposition batteries as frontlines shifted, enabling commanders to deliver firepower precisely when and where it was most needed. Maintenance and logistics presented ongoing challenges, given the improvised nature of the weapon's construction and the diverse origins of its components. Yet, crews adapted quickly, developing standardized procedures for loading, ignition, and transport, which maximized operational efficiency and minimized downtime during combat engagements. By late 1944, the Land Mattress had cemented its reputation as one of the most effective area saturation weapons in the British arsenal. Its operational record during Operation Veritable, the push into the Reichswald forest along the German-Dutch border, demonstrated both the weapon's destructive capability and the ingenuity of the personnel operating it. Over the course of the campaign, Land Mattress batteries fired more than 13,300 rockets, each precisely coordinated to maximize impact on enemy defensive lines. The combination of rapid salvo rates and substantial explosive payloads allowed British forces to neutralize entrenched positions, cut through dense foliage, and create corridors for infantry and armored units to advance. Commanders appreciated that, unlike conventional artillery barrages which could require hours of preparation and adjustment, the Land Mattress could achieve immediate results. Every salvo delivered a concentrated shock, disorienting enemy forces, destroying infrastructure, and leaving a path of destruction wide enough to permit rapid movement of troops and vehicles. The psychological effects were equally pronounced. German defenders reported a sense of hopelessness when facing the Land Mattress, as the sudden, overwhelming nature of the attack left little opportunity for countermeasures or organized resistance. The system's design, emphasizing simplicity, reliability, and speed, proved critical during these engagements. Each 12-launcher battery could be readied for firing within minutes, allowing commanders to time barrages precisely with infantry assaults, river crossings, or armored thrusts. The ability to concentrate 384 rockets into a single, devastating strike represented a level of firepower previously unattainable by the British Army. Engineers and ordnance teams continued to refine the system throughout the campaign, experimenting with firing angles, rocket stabilization, and battery deployment techniques. These iterative improvements enhanced accuracy, reduced misfires, and allowed for coordinated barrages that could blanket larger areas with maximum effect. Operational flexibility was another key strength. While the Land Mattress excelled in open terrain, it was also adapted for use in urban combat, where its saturating fire could demolish fortified buildings, disrupt snipers, and suppress machine gun nests. Crews learned to position launchers on elevated positions, rooftops, and cleared fields to optimize trajectories and minimize risks to friendly forces. The logistical demands, while significant, were manageable. Rockets were transported in specialized containers, batteries were mounted on mobile platforms, and support crews handled the complex process of fusing, loading, and firing with precision. This allowed Land Mattress units to keep pace with advancing infantry, delivering firepower exactly when it was most needed. The weapon's effectiveness was not limited to static engagements. During river crossing operations in the Netherlands and Germany, Land Mattress batteries provided critical suppressive fire, neutralizing enemy positions on the far bank and creating safer passage for assault troops. Its intense salvo capability allowed British forces to cross under heavy fire with reduced casualties, underscoring the strategic value of area saturation weapons in combined arms operations. Over time, British commanders recognized that the Land Mattress represented a paradigm shift in artillery tactics. Traditional bombardments relied on accuracy and sustained fire, often requiring careful calibration, spotters, and prolonged engagement. In contrast, the Land Mattress leveraged speed, volume, and psychological shock, creating a new model for battlefield dominance where overwhelming firepower could achieve objectives rapidly and decisively. The operational legacy of the Land Mattress extended beyond its immediate combat effectiveness. By demonstrating the value of improvised, high-volume fire systems, it influenced post-war artillery development and underscored the potential for creative engineering to overcome bureaucratic and logistical obstacles. The weapon's existence also highlighted the interplay between different branches of the military: RAF propulsion systems, Royal Navy warheads, and Army fuses, all coordinated to produce a unified, devastating result on the battlefield. The final months of the European campaign saw the Land Mattress employed with increasing sophistication. As Allied forces advanced into Germany in early 1945, the weapon became integral to operations aimed at breaching the Siegfried Line, suppressing German artillery, and supporting rapid armored thrusts. Each deployment was carefully planned to exploit the Land Mattress's unique capabilities, often coordinating with air support, infantry movements, and armored units to create overwhelming tactical synergy. By this stage, crews were highly experienced, capable of deploying, firing, and relocating batteries with remarkable efficiency. The improvisational origins of the system, assembled in a civilian factory using components from disparate sources, had given way to a refined operational doctrine, where every aspect of battery placement, rocket sequencing, and target selection was optimized for maximum battlefield effect. The weapon's psychological impact on enemy forces remained profound. German soldiers, already weary from continuous Allied advances, were increasingly demoralized by the sudden, concentrated barrages of explosive rockets. Encounters with the Land Mattress became legendary among German units, reinforcing the notion that the British had developed a weapon capable of delivering instantaneous, overwhelming destruction. Despite the effectiveness of conventional artillery, the Land Mattress offered a combination of speed, saturation, and flexibility unmatched by standard field guns. Its ability to deliver 384 rockets in mere seconds meant that defensive positions could be neutralized before counterattacks could be organized, enabling Allied infantry and armor to maintain momentum. Each salvo represented not only explosive force but also tactical opportunity, opening corridors through enemy lines, disrupting communication, and creating confusion that commanders could exploit. The lessons learned from Land Mattress deployments informed broader artillery strategy. Commanders recognized that integrating high-volume, rapid-fire rocket systems into combined arms operations significantly enhanced operational effectiveness. Coordination between artillery, infantry, and armor became increasingly sophisticated, emphasizing timing, positioning, and the psychological dimensions of firepower. Post-war analysis further highlighted the Land Mattress's significance. While many weapons developed during World War II were eventually retired or superseded, the Land Mattress stood out for demonstrating how improvisation, cross-branch collaboration, and creative engineering could produce a system that exceeded expectations on the battlefield. Its influence extended beyond immediate combat applications, contributing to post-war doctrines on area saturation, rapid-fire artillery, and combined arms integration. The Land Mattress remains a striking example of wartime innovation. Born from rejection and assembled under unconventional circumstances, it became one of the most devastating weapons of the European theater. By transforming surplus components into a weapon of unprecedented firepower, British engineers not only addressed tactical challenges but also redefined the potential of artillery in modern warfare. Its legacy endures in the history of World War II, illustrating how ingenuity, resourcefulness, and determination can create tools of extraordinary impact, even when conventional wisdom predicts failure.